Well, Shabbat Shalom, Camp Stein.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Who is ready for a story? This one's not about Babe Karen. You know who this one is about? I don't know. I need a name. I need a name. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You. I need a name. Karen. Karen. All right, Karen. And what's this human second name? Who haven't I heard from? Yes, and the stripes. Brooks. Karen Brooks. This is a story about Karen Brooks. Now, Karen Brooks was a first-time camper here at Camp Stein. And Karen Brooks was really enjoying a lot about camp, most of it. Karen Brooks was really enjoying horseback riding. Karen Brooks loved rocks and brokes. But you see, the thing is that Karen Brooks was not afraid of heights. Karen Brooks was not afraid of heights at all. You see, Karen Brooks actually felt that when Karen Brooks was up high, it was kind of the best place to be. But unfortunately, when it was time to move in, guess what kind of bunk Karen Brooks had? Bottom. Mr. Rendelman, you are a guest. Behave yourself. Karen Brooks got a bottom bunk. And this was really just the first thing that went kind of not exactly perfect for Karen Brooks. But the thing is that Karen Brooks really wanted a top bunk because, as we talked about, Karen Brooks really liked to be up high and to see everything that was going on, but was also a little bit shy and was afraid to say to the counselor, Counselor Matthew, I actually really, really wanted the top bunk. And so Karen Brooks just kind of took their spot on the bottom. And probably it would have been fine to be on the top, but when you're so shy, it can be hard sometimes to speak up for what you need. And then the next day, Karen Brooks was at art. And you know what Karen Brooks really wanted to do at art? Make a friendship bracelet. But you know what the art teacher said? Oh, I've actually got tie-dye planned for today. Come on, everybody, let's go, let's go. And what Karen Brooks didn't realize was that if Karen Brooks had said to their counselor, I actually really wanted to make a friendship bracelet. Do you think maybe I could take some string with me that I could maybe do? Wait, what did I say they were doing? Ceramics? Tie-dye. If you do the tie-dye, then we can do the friendship bracelet string. But Karen Brooks was, what did we say again? Shy and was afraid to ask their counselor for some friendship string because they didn't know that it was okay to ask for what they needed. And then guess what happened at lunch the next day? It was grilled cheese. But guess what Karen Brooks did not like? Grilled cheese or tomato soup. Karen Brooks really was not into this meal. Now, what could Karen Brooks have done? What do we do if we don't like the meal here at Camp Stein? Avery, what do we do? 3 options, right? You could go up to the front and say, hey, I don't really like grilled cheese and tomato soup. Is there something else I can have? Or you could go to the salad bar, or you could go over to Special Diets and see if maybe there's something better there for you. But Karen Brooks was? And at this point, the counselors were starting to worry a little about Karen Brooks because Karen wasn't talking much. Karen was really having a hard time. And, they tried to check in, but Karen was shy. And Karen didn't really know what to do. And so that night, as Karen was settling into their bottom bunk, Karen was having a hard time falling asleep. Karen was tossing, and Karen was turning, and Karen was afraid of having a bad dream, and Karen was wishing that they were up high. And so you know what Karen did in the middle of the night? By the way, warning, this is a fictional story. Don't ever do this. You got me? No, don't ever do this, okay? Wait, repeat after me. I promise I will never do this. Good. So Karen Brooks left the cabin in the middle of the night when everybody was sleeping. All Karen wanted was to be somewhere up high. Karen just needed to be one with the trees and the sky. You are right. So Karen searched high and low for a safe place to hide. Repeat after me. I will never do this. Karen searched high and low for some place to hide. Karen first tried to get up on top of the, oh my gosh, never ever do this. Tried to get up on top of the chadar. No way, Jose. That was not happening. Not even possible. Oh gosh, this is a terrible story. Karen Brooks was trying to find some place to go. Karen tried to go sleep up in the barn where the admin are, but couldn't get in because campers are not allowed up in the barn where the admin sleep, are they? No, absolutely not. And then Karen remembered something that they saw earlier that day. The tree house. And Karen thought, bingo, that is where I need to be. So Karen made their way up to the tree house, climbed up the ladder, and settled in on the platform. And finally, Karen felt peaceful. And in the waving of the trees and the rush of the wind, Karen heard this song. This is how it sounded. I got I go diggy, 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 die. I go dum-ba-dee, die. I go diggy, diggy, die. And Karen felt so peaceful and calm that Karen started to sing along. I go dum-ba-dee, die. I go diggy, 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 die. I go dum-ba-dee, die. I go diggy, diggy, die. And before Karen knew it, Karen Brooks was slept so good and so nice. And in the morning, Karen's counselor Matthew woke up. Matthew, what did you say?
What are you doing?
Did you know where Karen was?
No, I didn't. Where's Karen?
Oh my gosh, where's Karen? And the whole cabin sat up. Oh my gosh, where's Karen Brooks? Karen Brooks isn't in their bed. What are we going to do? No. Stop making it creepy. So the whole cabin got up, and the whole cabin threw their shoes on. They didn't even brush their teeth. Repeat after me. I will never do that. And they all went together to look for Karen. And they looked in the chadar, and they looked in the barn, and they looked in the ulam, and they looked at the teatron, and they looked and looked and looked and looked and looked and looked and looked until finally they heard something.
Rustle.
I got die. I got diggy, 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 die. I got die. I go diggy, diggy, die. And they looked where the sound was coming from, and there was Karen up in the treehouse singing. That was weird. And so they said, Karen Brooks, what are you doing up in the treehouse? You should have slept in your bed. And Karen just shrugged and went, I go diggy, die. I go diggy, die. I go diggy, 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 die. I go diggy, die. I go diggy, die. I go diggy, 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 die. Well, let me tell you, Karen Brooks, said Counselor Matthew, we are going to have a conversation with Jason Bronowitz about this behavior. Get back to the cabin right now. Go brush your teeth, put your pajamas on, and we will figure out what to do with you. And so as Karen Brooks was getting ready, Karen Brooks started brushing their teeth like this. I got dumb-body, die. Help me out, you do too. I got diggy, 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 diggy. Tying their shoes. I got dumb-body, die. Walking down to breakfast. Go diggy, diggy, die. Time to eat now. I go diggy, die. I diggy, die. I go. See, they like this meal. Diggy, diggy, drinking some water. I go diggy. I go diggy. I go diggy, diggy, diggy. But Jason wasn't available quite yet. It was time to go to first period, which meant time to go to A, which meant frolf. I go diggy, die. I go diggy, die. Then horseback riding. I go diggy, 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 diggy. Arts and crafts. I go diggy, die. Oh no, perler beads. Die. Oh, I dropped him. I go diggy, 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 die. And Karen Brooks refused to speak a whole word the whole rest of the day. Not in rest hour, which was kind of a good thing. Not during pool time, not during anything. Karen Brooks refused to say anything until Counselor Matthews said, Karen Brooks, what is wrong? And all Karen Brooks could do was shrug and sing. But there was a little friend in Karen Brooks's cabin, and that little friend's name was? That friend's name was, I think Hayden was the last one I heard. Mosey Hayden. Mosey Hayden was the littlest kid in the cabin, probably a year too young to be there. And little Mosey Hayden, or whatever we decided it was, said, hey, Karen Brooks? And Karen Brooks looked at them and said, I could take you die. And Mosey Hayden said, hey, I could die. And then Karen Brooks started to dry their tears and went, I could diggy die. Then Counselor Matthews said, I could die. Then all three of them went, I could diggy die. Then the rest of the cabin joined in. I could diggy die. I could diggy die. I could diggy dig. Then Jason Bronowitz joined in. I could diggy die. Then all the rest of the admin diggy die. And every single person at camp diggy die. Thank you so much, Karen Brooks said. Oh my gosh, the spell was broken. Counselor Matthews said, Dylan Brooks, what is wrong? Why did you run? Karen Brooks, that was confusing. Karen Brooks, what is wrong? What is wrong? Why have you run away? Why haven't you been talking? Why do you keep singing this song? And Karen Brooks said, I was just feeling so shy. I didn't know how to ask for what I needed. But now I see that we are one big community, and you're here for me, that I can ask you for what I need, that we are all in this together. And the whole cabin hugged and was happy, and they had the best summer ever. I got body die. I got diggy die. I got body die. I got diggy die. As one big community, let's turn together for prayers and needs.